Lukeless 2091. I also have a 2024 Bronco Sport and I'm interested in upgrading the sound. Could you recommend how I can do this for quite a lot cheaper than this? Probably like $200 to $300 budget. Not too hard to install and set up. Is it even possible to get a worthwhile upgrade at that price point? Actually, it is. So here we go with part 2 with the stereo system upgrade, and because of Lukeless's question, we're going to start on that part first, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the speakers today, at least the fronts. I may get to the backs, I don't know. What I went with was the Kicker 200 watt peak 100 RMS KSC Series 650s. They're a little pricey if you get them from like Amazon or directly from Kicker, but I got mine from eBay from it wasn't it was like an open box retailer. So that's what we're going with today. I got them for $80 a pair. So, and I got 2 pairs, one for the front, one for the back. So that's what we're going to go with. So the first thing to do is remove the door panel. So there is a bolt behind this piece. There are 2 bolts behind the control panel, and there's 2 underneath, which we're not going to see, but I'll try to get those into frame later. But the way I'm going to start, they say to start at the top. Some say start at the bottom. I'm going to start at the bottom because that makes more sense to me. But there's one right in. Oh, I'm sorry. You also got to take this little thing off, and there's one behind here. Anyway, this right here, everyone says, oh, get a tool, blah, 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 blah. This really this easy. You just put your finger right there, and you go, and it pops right out. And there's that bolt there. I think that's an 8. Now this one I will have a trim tool for. I think there's 2 10s behind here. There's a 7 here. I think it's a 7 here. We'll double check. I'll correct myself. And then underneath there is, see if I can find it. Oh, where'd it go? Oh my God. Yeah, right there, there's 7. And further down, right there, there's another 7. Even though that's the first piece of trim I took off, that's going to be the last bolt I take out. Now, as I understand it, you just got to get your little trim tool under here, and you just kind of work your way under until you get a good spot, and just kind of work it up really carefully. So you can already hear it kind of start popping a little bit. Now I've got my trim tool under here completely. And you just slowly work around. Being careful not to damage anything. Thankfully it's plastic on plastic, so we should be okay. I really hate this because I can only record in 3-minute segments because CapCut sucks. But you basically get it to where you can slowly kind of, there's a hook right back here. I hope I didn't break that off. No, I didn't. Okay, and then once you get that little booger out right there, there we go. You carefully work it out because you remember you have a plug right in there. There we go. And you kind of lift it out. See that hook right there? And there's your 2 plugs. On the passenger side, I understand there's only 1 plug. And I'm gonna set this down. Okay, a little quick note. These have these little detents right here. It pushes down with a thumb. And we'll see if I can do it one-handed. You push. Stop it! You push it down with your thumb. And it should just pull right out. I'm going to sit this down because I don't want to scratch up my control. Quite literally, as soon as I could get 2 hands on it, it just popped right out. And that is what the driver's side piece looks like. Again, there's that little hook. Be careful you don't break that off. That I had some hail damage. We had a hailstorm yesterday, so I was trying to pop one of my dents out. And that was very smart of me. And as you can see, there's that bolt right there that I was telling you about. And right there's the other one. We'll tuck our wires right back in there because we won't be needing them just yet. Yeah, I have those little inserts. Shut up. Now your little slide marker reflector, as I understand, you push in right here. Oh, yep, see how easy that was? It just slides right out. And right inside there is that other bolt. Where's my 10mm socket? Kidding, it's right there. Got 1 3/8 and 1/4. Now the 10mm, they are in there pretty good. You might want to step up to a larger ratchet. Now, you can pull these off by hand, but you can also get one of these little air wedges that they use. Locksmiths use them all the time to get into cars, to just push the door slightly out a little bit. Oh, what's that? Anyway, you can use these to remove the trim off the doors as well. You can do it by hand, you just got to be a little careful. This puts an even pressure on it, so it usually comes off pretty easily. So I've got it wedged there in the corner, and you just kind of pump it up, and it'll slowly push that out. See, just like that. Then you can work yourself to the middle, do the same thing, and it'll pop again. Just like that. And then you get to the point where you get the top worked off. Now, before you go any further, you have to undo your door connector thing. Now, once you get all that broke loose, don't go any further. You need to undo this little monster right here. This is your door lever and door lock thing, control. As I understand it, there's some kind of, how does it go in here? Hold on, let me figure this out. Okay, I figured it out. It literally is just a little snap, and it snaps up, and then you pull it out, just like that. Now, you have to undo this one. There's a clip right here. I gotta find the thumb thing. There it is, right on top. Pull it out. Now, there's your door. Isn't that pretty? Now, after you pull that off, make sure that you got all the little snaps. There's a few that are white, some are yellow. Remember your controls to the door. Yeah, just kind of tuck them out of the way for now, because you aren't going to use them. Now, let's tuck them right in there, maybe. If it'll sit right. And now we're about to get into the fun part, and that's where we start dismantling the old BS speaker. It's not a BS speaker, it's just BS for bull caca. Now, the Kicker website said to use sound deadening material, but I mean, they've got this plastic piece that pretty much, it's sealed, so I really don't know that it's a good idea to even do anything, to be honest. That's all solid, and it's sealed. It's got a rubber gasket, as you can tell. So I don't even know that I really need to use that, other than maybe over this hole, and that's about it. Because there's really nowhere to put really any sound deadening. This is all plastic, so that's how that goes. So we'll start right here. We'll just unplug that, which I wish all speaker manufacturers would do this. Kicker, if you're listening, start making your speakers like this. Just put the freaking controller on the outside, or make some modular ones, so that way, if you know, whether somebody's got a Ford or a Chevy or whatever, you just unplug it instead of having to deal with a bunch of freaking dongles and crap like that. 3 screws, 1, 2, 3. You take that out. Let's do that. Also a 7mm, just FYI. Now, a thing to be aware of: the speaker bolts are the gray color, the door bolts are the black color. Don't get them mixed up. And then this little monster just kind of slides. Damn it, Beavis, get out of there. There we go. Comes out. I mean, this speaker is so freaking light. Oh my God, this speaker is light. I thought they were joking. It's like, I can pick this up with one finger. Probably my pinky too. Yeah. This is a joke. Come on, Ford, do better. Really? And there's really not even a good spot to put the little, I'm using the, what do you call it? The Scar sound deadening material. There's not even a point to using it, because even the pad, there's not really any place to put it, because there's a big metal cross beam for structural stability. Ford, you gotta fix this. This is stupid. The way you've designed this door, it's just dumb. How's about we get a reissue of the F100? I don't even mean like the box sider. I mean like the 1954 one, back when they were cool and had step sides and all that other cool stuff. I used to have one. Now, Rather than do a bunch of 3D printing and having a bunch of trial and error, which I have a nice 3D printer, and I could probably print this. I just went ahead and bought the Metro adapters. But the ones I bought is the 82FD1, and that comes in a pair rather than piecemeal, like you have to buy one and then also buy the adapters. This comes with the standoff adapter and the little dongle adapters that you'll need. Personally, I don't know what these things are for because I'm dumb. I'm actually not really dumb. I just don't know what these are for. Maybe a tap, but if I'm going to tap, I'm going to tap it closer to the radio. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where's the speaker? Well, I'm going to test fit it to make sure that it's going to go in there and not rub up against anything because, you know, I would hate to do all that and it end up not working and I need a bigger spacer. I am not OCD by any stretch of the imagination, but one of the things that irritates me, if something has writing on it, it has to be like legible. In order to get this thing in there, it's like off kilter, and I don't know why, but that spins me out. But as you can see, it fits right in there. It's not rubbing on anything behind, so we're good there. So I'm gonna get that mounted. But before I do that, I have to drill a hole for my little adapter to fit. Now I want to try to get it in the same orientation that the factory setting was, and it was right up on top there, so that's where I'm going to try to drill my hole. Make sure you don't get it on the mounting hole like I almost did. Now, I had to use a 3/8 hole to get the negative lead to fit, but for the positive lead, I had to oblong it just ever so slightly in order to get it to fit. And this is why you don't open packages until you're ready to install things, because I think I lost the screws, so now I got to go find them. I'll be right back. Found the screws, and Kicker also submits this little butyl rubber. That is so you can seal that little hole that we just made for the wires, but we're not going to do that until we get finished screwing the speaker in. Now once we get to this point, this is pretty straightforward. The big end, this is a big spade. Big plug is going to go on the big spade. Little plug is going to go on the little spade. I know what you're thinking. You're not supposed to use the word spade, but it's actually called a spade. Now, word of warning, there is a little PCB here. You're going to want to put a little support under that as you push your leads on there. Two reasons. One, these little spades can bend. And if you don't have a solid purchase in order to push that spade connector onto the spade, you can either bend the spade or you can break that circuit board. So I almost did. So that's just something to be aware of. Now you see what I mean when I said earlier that I was dumb? I'm really not dumb, but I was lining these up on the edge when I should have been lining these up. So I probably mounted this speaker upside down. But it don't matter. It'll work out. And there she be, all mounted. Now, I got this plugged in. I'm going to put that butyl rubber in here. Or you actually could use a piece of sound deadening mat if you wanted to. These, I still don't know what the hell these are for. I guess if you wanted to tap into those, you probably could. But that just plugs right into the factory harness. I'm going to tape this all up with some cloth tape, and then I'm going to zip tie that out of the way. And there you go. Unless you knew what you're looking for, you wouldn't even know the difference, except the fact that there's a Kicker speaker in there. Now, it doesn't have to be upside down. Not in this case. I kind of screwed up because I wasn't paying attention on which holes go where. But, you know, it'll be all right. The other side I'll do correctly. But there you go, dude. That's really all there is to upgrading those speakers. Now, this is just the front. Okay, so you can get away with just doing the front. You can do the back, but usually they put in a high-pass filter in there, so the speakers in the back don't get the full signal. You have to go in there with a USB dongle and forescan and enable those speakers. I think it's for woofer and tweeter. That way it'll go ahead and release all the signal that it's supposed to have. Otherwise, and the other thing you have to be aware of is that some of these came with 4-inch speakers in the back, some came with 6.5. Its mileage may vary. I don't know if it's a B&O sound system or if it's just like luck of the draw, but we'll find out when I do the backs. But these are for the front speakers, and then I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll do a sound check. And for those of you wondering, I wondered the same thing. I was wondering if this grill comes out. It is not. This is all one solid piece, because I was thinking, oh, it'd be really cool to put the kicker plate in there, or the kicker grill in there, but that is going to be a hell no. Yeah, one solid piece of plastic. So you would literally have to cut this grill out. And to be honest, I mean, let's look at the other side. Is it really worth it? Let's be honest. Although kicker, I would make a little button that you can put right there, so you can signify that somebody has used their speakers in their cars. Just a thought. I mean, I could drive over to Stillwater and we could make that happen. Or I may just 3D print one. These are all plastic riveted in, so I mean, if you wanted to take this container off, you could do that. Or if you wanted to put some little hidden control buttons, I don't know why you would do that on a freaking Bronco. But yeah, this is a really simple piece of plastic that there's that little nub that fell out. I just popped it right back in, and now we're going to put all this back together. You know what? I lied. We're not going to put that back together right now, because I know some of you pro audio guys are going to be like, he's not going to put that back together like that, is he? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No, I'm not. I forgot the most important part, and that is to make it airtight as much as possible and use the handy-dandy little gasket there. So we're going to do that next. And it should look a little something like this. Ignore that I screwed up. I made it too long and it ended up being goofy, and then I cut it too short and then it was goofy, so I just kind of stuck a piece in there. Don't judge. I'm not a pro. Trickiest part was getting the door handle thing back in. Thankfully, I got that back in. It just pops back in like it came out. But now you just button everything up in the exact reverse order that you did when you first took it apart. Okay, the other side is done. It went a lot quicker than than trying to videotape it, and there's all these freaking mosquitoes flying around. Note to self, make sure to have some citronella out. I think I just got bit in the corner of my eye by a mosquito. Are you going to notice a huge improvement? It's debatable. If anything, they're going to be louder. You're not going to notice a whole lot of bass difference. I mean, for what they are, the stock speakers aren't bad. They're not great. Like if I were to hand this to a fourth grader, they could chuck it across the playground, no problem. The old stock speakers are light, they're paper cones, itty bitty magnets, piece of crap. For what they are, man, I mean, you could get by. Do you need to invest a bunch of money in your speakers? Not really. The only time you're gonna really notice the difference is when you start getting into amplification, which is our next little project. I take that back. I'm gonna do the rear speakers, and then I'm gonna do the kicker key. Again, I haven't torn into the back yet. I don't know whether I have the 4-inch speakers or the 6.5-inch speakers, but we'll figure that out too. So I will say, by the time you buy all the parts and things that you need, just go to an audio guy and have them do it. They have all the parts and tools and everything you need. I spent a lot of money on tools and parts and things like that. But then again, I'm a tool snob and I bought some expensive tools. But for a little bit of an upgrade, I mean, you can install some speakers and yeah, you'll get some results. You'll notice a slight improvement in the sound quality. Spending $200-300, is it worth it? I don't know. Mileage may vary. I don't think so. Unless you're just going to go with the full upgrade, I would say, you know, were the speakers necessary? Probably not. Is it worth the upgrade? Meh. Kinda. You almost would be money ahead to invest in one of those little JBL Nanos and stick it under the front seat. It'll round out your sound a little better. Just tap into the front speaker outlets and do it that way. You're probably not going to notice much of a difference until you, of course, amplify the 4 speakers and do the little 4-scan trick with the back speakers, because I'm sure mine are probably turned off. When I fade it all the way to the back, you can barely hear the speakers. Come on, Ford, get it together. Seriously, it's a joke what you guys do. Get it though, they used to not even include a radio. Is Is the sound crisp? Yes. Will it go louder without distorting? Yes. Would I do it again if I was just upgrading the speakers? Probably not. Is the audio more crisp and clear? Yes. Is it louder? Also yes. But you're really not going to notice a difference until you do that amplified system. And I would also throw in a sub in there because you're just not going to get the deep bass like you might think you would by adding different speakers. The JBL Nano, or maybe I think it's the Nano. Anyway, the little bitty one that fits under the seat, or the JBL spare tire subwoofer. I think Sound Ordnance also makes one. I don't know which one is best. I haven't tested anyone. Hey guys, if you want to send me one, I'll test it out. I'm going to put a Kicker 51 HS10 under the front seat because, gotta get the girls somehow, and at least if they're in the mood by the time we get to her place, I might get lucky. I think long term I'm going to put 2 subs in it. I'll have the one under the seat, and then I'll probably put a little one in the back so I can take the little band pass. I think I'm going to get a band pass so I can take the little one in the back out, mainly just to get a little bit of deep bass, and the one under the seat to round it out and give a little good vibrations while we're going down the road. I'm a good guy. I'm still a guy. Shut up. Difficulty speaking, the one I did where I didn't record it, it took me maybe 15-20 minutes. It's not a hard job at all. Once you do one, the other one is pretty much cake. I bought mine from an open box reseller. They're brand new. They don't even look like they've even been touched. They look like somebody it was like an overstock and they just resold them. I bought, I think their usual $148, $153, something like that. I paid $88 a pair. So get them from eBay. That's the way to do it. Sorry, Kicker. Hey, I'm a Jew. We never pay retail. Well, that's pretty much it for part 2. We did the front speakers today. I'm going to go ahead and button up off camera. There's no sense in subjecting you guys to all that nonsense. It really takes like 5 minutes to put the panel back on. Part 3 will be the rear speakers, and then part 4, that's going to be the Kicker key, where I'm also going to wire a power distribution block because I'm going to put 2 subs. I think they're both going to be powered subs, and then I'm going to put an inverter in the far rear of my truck. And let's see, I don't think I'm going to put it's going to be a little surprise for you guys. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be cool when I get it done. You guys will be impressed. So overall, front and back speakers for sure, under the seat speaker, possibly a sub in the back, and then that last surprise, which you guys are going to think is cool. And on that note, I'm just about done. I'm going to go see if there's anything good to eat in there. That's about all there is to say about that. I take it back. After I got everything buttoned back up, the door panels back on, and everything sealed up with the foam and all the lovely stuff, I will say there's a noticeable improvement. The rearview mirror would shake before, but not a whole lot. I played Leo Marcoli's cover of What Is Love, and the bass hits were good. The guitars were good. It's really crisp. It's really clear. Is it worth the money? Still, mileage may vary. I like the sound. It's a little bit better than stock. Actually, it's quite a bit better than stock. But is it enough to make me want to spend $200 just to get a slightly improved sound? I mean, yeah, if your next step is to, go with an amplifier, I think I'm going to be a big fan of the Kicker key. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I don't know. You don't need a lot of amplification because the head unit's almost there. I mean, it doesn't really need a whole lot. The sound quality is really good on those KS speakers. Kicker, if you want to sponsor me, I'll totally do it. And I just live an hour away, so we can totally do some collabs. Like maybe a sealed enclosure that fits underneath the seat of a 2024 Bronco that seems to be a really hot seller lately, and a lot of people like it. I'm sorry, Bronco Sport. It's not a real Bronco. I know. Shut up. Did I get my money's worth? Yeah, I think so, because that's not my landing point. I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to put the amplifier in. I'm going to put the kicker subwoofer under the seat. I'll probably put a smaller, I think I'm going to put an 8-inch sealed sub or a bandpass sub in the very back, so that way I can pull it in and out. It's no big deal, but I still have the bass to round out the sound. Is it a good sound as it is? Absolutely, it's great. Is it worth $200 to $300? Maybe. I mean, if I was stopping at just speakers, no. But seeing as I'm going to go beyond that, yeah, absolutely, totally worth the investment. Final thoughts. Would I do this again? Yeah, I would. Some people's mileage may vary. It may not be enough of a difference. I really had to listen for a while to really, oh yeah, that was a good upgrade. Yeah, the notes are more crisp, and I'm hearing things that I didn't hear before from the stock speakers. Because I mean, let's face it, those are paper cones. It's garbage. The Kicker KS series, they have a polypropylene woofer. It looks like it's reinforced with some Kevlar. I'm not sure. And they have a silk dome tweeter. They sound really good. I listen to Bloodhound Gang, I listen to White Zombie, I listen to Rob Zombie, I listen to Pantera. There were some really good points in that, and there were a couple where it was like, oh, okay, that was a worthwhile upgrade. It's really going to pop once I get that kicker key installed, but for the money, if you're going to upgrade your speaker system and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, hop over on eBay, grab them. I think they're like $88. Put them in the front. I mean, what's $88 going to kill you? And you'll have a decent sound system, at least for the driver. And then when you get some more money, do the backs. And then the little dongle is like $14 on Amazon. I'll put a link to it in the description. In fact, all the links in my descriptions, they are affiliate links. I get a little kickback. It's just a little way to say thank you for making this video, and I would really appreciate it if you use those links at the bottom. I'm not saying you have to, but hey, it would help me out, and I can continue to make content. It looks like Kicker's running a sale right now. They look to be $129.99. So if you want to get them directly from Kicker, I mean, you could go that route too. I used the eBay route. Didn't have a problem. In fact, I bought 2 sets of speakers, and I bought the 51 HS10, which is the Hideaway under the seat subwoofer. But yeah, was it worthwhile? Yeah, if you want to upgrade your stereo, start with the speakers. You're not going to notice that much a difference unless you have a discerning ear, and then you will start to pick up things as you listen to it more and more. Does it get much louder? Yeah, but I mean, you're still cranking it up to 19 or 20. You'll still get a decent sound. You can turn it all the way up to 30. It's not going to get you distortion like the stock speakers. You turn it up to 30 and it just sucks. It's not worth listening to at that volume. I have a feeling though that once I get that amplifier installed, it's going to be a different story. So stay tuned. It's going to be cool. I've got a lot of videos planned. You're probably going to like it. Now, there were some caveats. One of those is I didn't use any sound deadening material because for some reason on the 2024 Bronco Sport, they used this plastic cover type thing that instead of it being like a traditional door panel, it's kind of concaved into the door to where it is only taking up space inside of the door for what the external components would be. In fact, the window motor is right there where you can get to it. It's actually really convenient. So maybe they were using their head. I don't know. The jury's still out on that, but I didn't use any sound deadening material. All of the holes seemed to be covered up already, so I just didn't worry about it, and I moved on. I did use I'll put the link below as well. I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but I used the Sound Shield SSD contour sound sealing speaker strips to tape around the edge of the speaker, and they seemed to work really well. There was no deflection of the speaker grill. Fit just like it was supposed to go there. So Am I happy with the install? Yes. Can you tell it's been installed? No. So as far as a sleeper type of stereo system, I think it's going to do well. In the meantime, I have 4 sheets of sound deadening material that I can't really do anything with, so I'm going to have to think of another project to use that or send it back. I guess I should send it back. It was like $50. I take that back. It was $36.88. Maybe I'll use it in another project. The ODB thing for Forescan, it's actually $27.94. I'll put a link to that as well. I bought so much crap that I'm going to end up not using just because the 2024 Bronco Sport is kind of a different animal. Do I hate it? No, I actually kind of like my truck. It'll pull things. It'll get up and go. In fact, it has all the bells and whistles that my BMW had. At some point, I will find some royalty-free music that I can play and give you guys a sound test. I wish I would have made a recording before so I could also give you a after so that way you could hear them. I actually have a nice little sound recorder. I could have actually recorded some nice audio. On a scale of 1 to 10 for difficulty, I would say it's about a 2 or a 3. I mean, it was a really easy job. I did it in an afternoon. If I didn't make a video, it probably would have taken me all of about an hour, hour and a half. So time well spent. Was it worthwhile? Yes. I would do it again.